At Golfdom, the 2025 golf season is here. Yes, that's right. Maybe not outside your frozen window with snow and ice, but in your hearts and in your minds. It's here and alive with you thinking about that upcoming winter trip. It's here as you say, man, I think I need a new travel bag. Let me give a recommendation. The Sun Mountain Club Glider Meridian. Best damn travel bag I've ever owned. It glides with you from terminal to curb and more. Go into Golfdom and get the latest in gear for your golf season. How about some high-tech thermals to get you through a few rounds on a 45-degree day in the DMV? Or maybe the golf season means getting ready to stock up on ammunition for the upcoming season. Go into Golfdom, shop for the right golf ball for your game, and then load up enough to make it at least through 4th of July. So just like the season of the Capital Golf Gang is here, so too is golf season at Golfdom. Get into any location in the DMV, Tysons, Rockville, and Annapolis, or shop online at golfdomgolf.com. Or wherever you go, look for the worldwide golf logo and get the best for your game.
In the shadow of the most powerful city in the world, the Capital Golf Gang is on the air with instructor John Ronis from the Ronis Academy at River Creek, Executive Director of the Middle Atlantic PGA, John Gould, and now your host in Washington, D.C., Steve Zabin.
It is a cold, cold day in the DMV, but the Capital Golf Gang is ready for its 2025 debut. Hello, boys. How we doing? The gang is all here. El Baldo with John Ronis, Director of Golf at River Creek, John Gould, the CEO of the Middle Atlantic PGA, and Buddy Christensen of Golfdom. Hello, fellas. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Hello.
Happy snow day.
Happy snow day indeed. So this is a cold stretch for the good old D.C. area. We haven't had this in a while. 7 inches of snow, and it hadn't been above freezing since for about a week.
Yeah, I mean, we've had cold stretches, and people will still really get out. Like a day like today, it's about 40 degrees.
No, it's not.
We get players. Well, I mean, the wind chill's like 2.
No, I don't think the raw is 40, my friend. But I'm not
Okay.
going to. I don't want to start the
That's
year on
fine.
an argument
It
with
was
you.
just
But
in my car. So on the Beltway, which is stopped. That was so. Anyways, at 40 degrees, you'd still get some people who come out there and play.
Yep.
But this combination of the snow and now the cold weather, we had a staff meeting this morning. We're looking 2 weeks of no play, and in a corporate environment, that gets a little dicey.
Yeah.
why is that? Because they want the
Revenue.
Revenue.
Yeah.
Really? They didn't count on 2 weeks of being full zeros on the spreadsheet.
Well, but
They didn't.
yeah, exactly. most golf courses will tell you January and February any golf is bonus,
Right.
And
They'll say that.
don't count on it. But
Then
corporate-
as soon as they lose it one time, buddy, they're screaming bloody murder. Oh, God.
Well, and the other thing is, we got in that mode for a couple of days of not getting out. So now you're not going to the club just to hang out and
Right.
eat and drink and whatever. But so they're losing that on top of not getting the golf.
especially a
out there.
neighborhood club. Yeah.
Now, I ask you, did anyone go get good digital assets of the mighty River Creek with a blanket of fresh, pristine snow upon it?
No, but there are plenty of pictures out there, and the Potomac is well frozen in front of the clubhouse. It is gorgeous.
I hope
mean,
one of your
stunning.
residents or members
Oh, there are, yeah.
with a good camera got out there, because to me, there's nothing as sexy as a blanketed golf hole covered in white with the flag still sitting sentinel on the frozen green.
And I'll get some. The problem is it's been so windy. I wanted to put a drone up there and take some aerials, but it's been so windy that my cruddy drone would have just gone in someone's back window. So
Or the Potomac, one or the other.
I'll try to get some good pictures because I agree with you. It is gorgeous.
Good stuff. Well, it's good to be indoors. Buddy, today your staff is doing the inventory day for Golfdom for 2025.
Painful day.
There are sticky notes everywhere with numbers. There's skews
Yeah.
all over the place.
Buddy was really torn up that we had to pull him away from that process.
You said this is the least favorite day of the year in retail. Why?
Oh, as an owner, it's the worst.
Okay.
Of the
Paying
year?
people to be you're paying people to be here all day long. Your whole staff, whoever you
Yeah.
can get in here, because you need all hands on deck. You are feeding them lunch and dinner because it's a long day.
Yeah.
and you're finding out how much money was taken from you throughout the year, because it's the shrinkage number at the end of the day that we're all trying to figure out. And at the end, I would say it's important that we get it right so we know what we have. But really, it's painful when you look at what that number is. And you build up a tolerance for it as you realize what it is. And
I only got $50,000 stolen from you this year.
Yeah.
Yay.
It's not a fun thing.
We're the first of every month we have to report
12 inventories?
12 inventories.
Wow.
Physically count them?
Yes.
Wow. Yeah,
Yep.
well,
But
I'm sure it's a few.
we're
few less,
1/100th.
Yeah,
And I think
less
a lot of
pieces,
clubs
but-
do that, though,
Yeah.
monthly.
And,
Some of them
and
might
we
have
do
moved to
spot
quarterly.
checks throughout the year, and that's going to help keep that number. But it's the time that you literally are, dusting everything off and counting it and making sure that that's right.
I mean, and do the math just on ours. Okay, so let's just say we sell 25 or 30 drivers, from whatever. On a driver, you're making, I don't know, $40 or $50 per driver. You lose one. That's $308. Well, I won't say how much it is cost, but that's, let's just say $400. $400.
That's
gone.
10.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
10
That's the
driver
profit.
sales
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah.
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Half of
No,
our profit.
people don't understand how slim it can be, but yes, it's a
crazy.
big deal to lose any.
Well, I'm glad you're in here doing a radio show with us or a podcast. So there
Absolutely,
you go.
I'm glad to be here doing it as well.
The only other place we'd love to be more is on our hole number one. The TGL makes its debut. Or should I just say TGL makes its debut? Because the extra "the" is redundant, right? It's
right.
the Golf League. Now, you see here this wonderful photo of two gentlemen who did not play in the debut on Monday night between New York Golf Club and the Bay, and that would be Tiger Woods and Rory McIlroy. This is a fitting photograph because let's not kid ourselves. This whole league is possible only because of those two guys. And when I say those two guys, I mean the guy in the white sweater.
Yeah.
Tiger.
Yeah, right.
Right? Like this league exists to benefit Tiger. He can't walk. He really can't play 18 or 36 or even more, but he can stand in a simulator.
Yeah.
SoFi, we're in.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that's the power of Tiger as an athlete, but it's also kind of a bit daunting if you think about, is this thing going to succeed?
No.
Yeah.
You don't think
well,
so?
first signs are good. I actually watched it. I was like, man, the great thing is they planned out Tuesday night at 9 o'clock. There's literally nothing on TV.
Yeah.
So I watched it. Just under 1 million people watched it.
Good.
Better than the basketball game, the Duke game that led into it.
Okay.
And better and twice as much as the Century final round, which was the Sunday in Hawaii. So,
Wow.
Hey, it might be a one-time thing. We don't know that it's going to be a success to watch the same thing 14 times in a row, but
It could.
good start.
There's so many, I mean, we'll get into it, but there's so many things that aren't being done properly so far,
within the show?
production-wise. Yeah.
Well, let's talk about what they're doing well. Let's see a few highlights as well. This is the green that everyone was talking about, which circles around and also is contourable with a push of a button. Yep. So they push a button and all the pumps go up and down or whatever. Very cool tech in that regard. Beautiful looking stadium. The first one of these was like a flimsier tent that blew down and they had to start over.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm kind of glad they're probably thinking, thank God we built a bigger, more, significant structure because this looks great.
Yeah,
I'd love to stand inside of it.
It's the ultimate man cave right there.
Exactly. So, and it's got ESPN behind it, which is also great.
Very
Loved it. They love everything that's new. New York facing the Bay. New York Golf Club, the Bay Golf Club. Rory McIlroy, Tiger Woods, Mike Harlan were the driving forces behind this thing.
Who is Mike Harlan?
I think he's the CEO of SoFi.
Oh, he is.
I
Okay.
think.
The money man.
All right.
Let's just call him that.
Started DJ Khaled loves golf. Our format, holes 1 through 9 are triples. That means all three people will play alternate shots. Then you go 10 through 15, which are singles. Each hole's worth a point. Shane Lowry, this is a major champion. He joked on Twitter last night, what if I missed the screen? It's basically 6 stories. You're good. He stripes one, and we're off and running for the Bay. After a nice approach from Wyndham Clark, that means Ludwig Oberg, 6th-ranked player in the world, steps up, very first hole in TGL history. And the Bay
Funny that first hole, and they have a guy standing in front of the cup on the angle they have for the putt. That's one of those things I'm sure they're going to wrinkle out.
Yep.
Is off and running, and they did not slow down. On the green at hole number 3, Clark decides to throw the hammer, which means that the hole is increased in value by 1. He buries it. New
Okay,
York.
what do we think of the hammer? It's actually a flag they throw on the green, like a challenge flag, but it's called the hammer to juice up the bet. A common thing amongst recreational golfers.
Good.
Okay, you like it?
Good.
Yeah, I liked it as an additional value. I thought it was a shame that the Bay, who was winning by a lot, had the hammer for the last half, and because they had it, the people trailing couldn't use it.
Catch up.
I think it would be a nice – I don't know exactly how you would work it, but the losing team ought to have the chance to get it if you don't use it within it. They basically had for all the singles, they had a big lead, and they just held it because that way the other team doesn't get it.
I didn't follow all the rules with it. Can you use it whenever on the hole, or did it have to be at the putt?
So I watched it all.
Here we go.
If you throw it before anybody tees off, they have to accept it.
Oh,
the
that's
team.
okay.
If you throw it anywhere else, they can turn it down, but you lose
the hammer. I got you. So I missed the part where I saw the concede.
What gutless weasel would turn down the hammer?
Yeah, right.
Like, it's like turning down a press on your weekend game. You get
$1
so much
press.
You get so much grief. You're like, nah, I don't want to press.
Yeah.
Well, but in that one, they were 1 down, and they throw the hammer. They would have been 1 up or 3 down.
No. The winning team threw the hammer, so they were 1 up.
No, right.
They had a
but what
putt
I'm
left.
saying is, had he missed that putt, he would have gone 1 down.
Yes.
But instead, they're 3
3
up. So it's a big swing.
No, because a tie doesn't lose the hammer.
No, I'm just talking about the points.
But he was putting for birdie, and they were in for par. So if he misses it, he doesn't lose it.
I got you. Right.
Rolled.
There's Tiger with a headset on to do commentary during the match when he's not playing.
Clock. Afterwards, the New York Golf Club was asked, are there any rules you'd like to see implemented immediately?
There was the flag right before Lowry teed off.
Yep.
And, of course, they've invested in actual grass hitting squares, which have to be craned in from the outside to be dropped into place. They could probably do away with strips and man carry them in, but that's okay. They're spending money on this thing, so good for them.
New York Golf Club throws the hammer with Lowry on the tee. Bay has to accept it since they had thrown it the hole before. Andre Iguodala, co-owner of the Bay, appreciating that. Lowry, unfazed.
This was a fictional course, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, it's not even a course. It's
I go, okay, I got no problem with it, but it's the first time you've seen it.
Yeah.
The XFL drew a 9 share before it started to fade off and die into nothing. Anything novel is going to be good. Now, here was another little moment. Your boy Richard.
And Ricky Fowler, that's not sporting. He drops the flag and concedes the match because they know that this is just not going to work out for them. The Bay wins the first TGL match. DJ Khaled gave the SportsCenter top 10.
Okay, so there you have it on that.
And let's clarify that was actually not being unsporting by Rick. He conceded the hole. And he knew everybody in the stadium didn't know what was going on. Everybody listening on TV knew because they could hear him say, "I'm conceding." But the people in the stadium couldn't hear that.
So they're like, oh, my God, that's a totally Bush League maneuver, throwing the pin in front of the ball.
I think he did that to let them know that he was conceding, to be honest. That was kind of a signal.
I don't think it was premeditated.
Okay. Yeah, it wasn't premeditated, but it was
Ricky
just
trying to be funny.
Yeah.
All right, let's get down to it here. Let's give our full impressions, net after one viewing of TGL. Not the TGL, but TGL. I think it is harmless fun. That was well produced, incredible tech, good for the players. I don't know what they're making. Do we know the economics of this?
Don't know what they're
for the
making.
players. but it's some free money on a Tuesday night in a big simulator down in West Palm, is it?
Yeah,
I believe.
And most of them live right down the street.
They live right down
Jupiter.
the street.
Yeah.
In Jupiter. So that's good. We'll see how much staying power it has on the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 10th, 15th, next year, the year after that iteration of this. So I got nothing against it. But I'm not sure the upside, John Ronas. I'm not sure what this looks like in 3 years.
It's not going to be here in 3 years.
What do you mean not 3 years?
Oh,
what are they going to do, bulldoze this thing or turn it into a Chuck E. Cheese?
Yeah. It will not be here in 3 years. Let's place that $1 bet. I'll throw the flag on that one.
Throw that
it's not going to be here in 3 years. Maybe something, technologically more advanced or whatever. But you know what? It's not going to hurt the game. Right? So it's always good.
Yeah.
But what is the main thing in golf that you really want to see? I want
pressure.
To see and the players. I want to know about the players. I found that I couldn't hear their voices too well on the telecast.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So I want that to be forefront. I want them to go and say, guys, this is entertainment. You're not playing for millions of dollars in major championships. We're going to mic you up, and we want to hear what you're thinking. And we want to hear what you're thinking about the guy who's hitting the ball. Real life. And that's the entertainment aspect of it. So I want to hear Ricky say, shoot, I'm going to hook this one in because, God, I haven't hit a fade in such a, I want to hear that stuff. This green is wild. I don't know what this fur is going to do. This is weird grass. I want to hear all the stuff that they're thinking. Also, I want to be much more in virtual kind of reality when the ball flies into the screen. I want that camera right up, and I want to be seeing it. Go.
Well, the trade-off is they have a fair amount of ball flight before the ball hits that giant screen.
Yeah.
That's nice from a player's perspective. It's bad from a TV visual standpoint because you're waiting for the shot tracer to kick in once it thumps the screen.
Shot tracer, though, does delay on TrackMan. TrackMan delays anyways.
What
even
system are they
screen.
using for this?
The one that Tiger owns.
Full swing is that one.
Yeah. Full swing.
Yeah,
okay.
So I guess that's launch monitor and everything. I'm not sure.
All right.
Yeah.
Net, John Gould, Mr. Grow the Game, PGA of America.
I think all positive. It can't hurt is the best way to say it. There were some things I didn't like. I didn't like all that data that they showed on the in arena. So the viewpoint was we were seeing the player, and you could see at least 2 massive screens on the side with all the data. I found that hard to see. I would like to see it on a window or something like that. Now, I'm sure someone's going to complain, well, you're blocking out the view or whatever. I do agree that we could hear from them more, but you got to do it in interviews because you can't have all 6 of them talking at the same time.
Why not?
Well, there's got to be some traffic.
Yeah, correct. You got to have some traffic cop, I think. But I think it's interesting. I thought they made a major mistake originally, not with Tiger not in the first match.
Oh.
I thought, why would you not
why
put Tiger
would
in
you? Maybe they want to wait and say, here's what it looks like, iron out a few kinks, and then say, don't forget, here's the debut of Tiger. Because now it's in the bloodstream.
Well, yeah, no, that's exactly what I was saying. That's what I originally thought. They messed up. But now seeing it, they got 1 million people because it was the first one.
It's a soft launch.
Yeah, and then you got Rory in the next one and Tiger in the next one, I think.
Right.
Maybe it's vice versa.
Right.
So that ought to lead to a little bit more. And
when does
I think it'll
Christian
get better.
Bezadenhout play? That's all I want to know. I'm waiting for the Bezadenhout episode of this. Buddy, your thoughts on it?
I agree with all of what you guys are saying. I thought it was going to be kind of laughable, and I thought it was entertaining. I think it was too long. I think 2 hours, I was a little zoned out.
But the pace was good. Even though it was too long,
fine.
the pace was wonderful. I mean, they were hitting shots.
So one good thing about Tiger not playing or Rory is we needed a week to kind of learn these rules because there are a lot of different little rules and understanding, okay, 50 yards and in, they're all going to walk over here and hit from here. And that was all kind of cool to see. But, thinking, am I going to watch it in 4 weeks? I don't know, but I know I'll watch it next week if Tiger or Rory plays, and the week after that if the other one plays. So I think there will be a little bit of something. But one thing to your point, John, I don't know that this audience wants to hear the draw versus fade or whatever. If this target audience is this broader group, they may not understand that. So I think one thing I heard was if they called this more of a game show, it kind of would have made more sense, and then that takes a little bit of the sense of golf out of it.
So it needs a host, a presenter, other than Matthew Berry, who was doing the play-by-play.
Talking head guy.
I wouldn't mind seeing the fans on the floor like a bar. like just mingling around, and not with ropes, but like mingling
Ed
around.
from Loxahatchee about to vomit after his 17th Bud Light.
And I would like to see them really link. I'm about to go down to Florida. I'm going to play a place. I'm going to be able to spit at 20 people that have nothing to do with golf and are major celebrities.
So
I'd like to see them involved in the telecast.
It would be cool if they had fans able to crowd around the hitting area, in addition to the fans up above that can see down. So they will not be obstructed by those who have the VIP floor access.
Yeah, but I want superstars also getting interviewed. I want country singers. I want actors. I want this. And what golf kind of means to them and why they're so excited and how this is another avenue for them.
I saw, it was not my idea, but I read it somewhere that would be interesting, is if they made that broadcast strictly for the novice golfer, beginning golfer, kind of, new fan, but did a Manning cast for the hardcore golf fans.
Huh.
So they would really talk about angle of attack.
Hold on a second. And you're already cooking up a Manning cast for TGL after one episode?
It's ESPN.
We can't call it
they can throw it on they just throw it on the app,
Put
right?
it on the Ocho. I don't care.
Right.
That's funny. I also, I guess, derisively said it's like slam ball meets team tennis. You know those two things? You ever watch Slam Ball? Loved Slam Ball. Awesome. I thought it was going to take off. It was a novelty. It didn't last. Team tennis, I might still be around. It would tour from city to city. It would get stars playing in these, doubles matches and whatnot, and they would keep score. Look, there's nothing wrong with it. I don't know the upside. Part of the big problem is, what is golf? And what doesn't TGL have? It doesn't have variability of lies. It doesn't have rough. It's got light rough, but it's just kind of fluffy.
And you got to drop it instead of place it.
It doesn't have wind. It doesn't have temperature. It doesn't have the real impetus of, if you don't make the cut, you get 0. So it has so few of the actual things that make no trees. I mean, I know Gary Player would say that's good.
Water.
The water required for the
I will
trees.
say this, though. There's a large percentage, and I don't know what it is, but I would say it's probably close to 30% that most of their golfing activity is done at a driving range, a Topgolf, or off a mat somewhere.
I know. Yeah. And that's a fine thing, because the best part about it, two best things. One is, if by some miracle the shot clock in TGL ushers in the feasibility or the mental acceptance of something similar for outdoor golf, then TGL will forever have a place in my heart as something that changed the pro game for good.
Yeah. I noticed that and immediately thought of you, and it is a great thing to have there. Yep. I mean, imagine how boring it would be if they're milling around thinking about there's nothing to think about.
They walked up, hit their putts, went over,
and
hit
unless
the next
I missed
putt.
it, there wasn't a caddy there, right? There was a guy back at the kind of the things that was handing them clubs and giving them the yardage.
There also wasn't any wind, wasn't any water, wasn't any of this, wasn't any of that.
Yeah. I also heard Stevie Williams was banging on the door saying, "Let me in! I need a caddy in here."
Valvoline shirt on.
But that's another conversation that we also. There was a dude with each team that was saying, "Okay, it's 142," and blah blah blah, and showing them how to use the graphic, here's to the front, here's to the back, and all that stuff. I would have liked to hear that conversation a little bit, too.
I mean, and some of the bunkers have enough of a lip to kind of replicate what is out there on the cooked-up holes and everything, but it's truly not golf. Every lie is flat, except for the chips. They had some problems with the chips because the ball sits up really well on that synthetic turf, so it spun differently. And there was a story talking about how they had to adjust for that, and they were chipping it 8 feet by. I think Shoffley said it felt like I was on the Korn Ferry Tour again. So that was kind of funny. But the best thing about it is, and I'll just end on this, we'll move on. Anytime our sport that we love is sitting in a nice spot in the pop culture and on ESPN, which is a very valuable piece of real estate in the sports, landscape, that's a great thing for golf.
Yep.
That there are celebrities, that there are NBA players and champions like Andre Iguodala buying in, and DJ Khaled. That's a great thing.
Yes.
So it's a win.
Yes, it is.
And I'll give it a year, says Ronas. Moving on, hole number 2. Kappa pitch and putt. Hideki Matsuyama eviscerated Kapalua without its traditional trade winds. I learned that from none other than the resident Hawaii tourism director that's always on the broadcast, Mark Rolfing.
Yeah.
Right?
Rolf.
Rolf, hey, Rolf, what about those trade winds? Trade winds are down. This course is playing really easy.
Yeah.
35 under, which is a new record on tour for under par. You're not going to move it to a harder course. There is a harder course in Hawaii. I played it. It's called Ko'olau, but it's over in a remote part of Oahu. You can't even get to it, much less set up TV towers, grandstands, or any kind of amenities. Kapalua is a great resort. It looks great on TV, but the course is just too easy for these guys.
Yeah,
so
it's a resort.
So what's
35 under and 72 holes. So he basically averaged a birdie every 2 holes.
Almost 9.
Right.
Yeah.
So what's the problem here? Like, was it at all exciting golf? Is it good or bad for the game? That trophy is sick, by the way. I love that.
Yeah.
With the whale's tail coming out of what looks like a splashing ocean there and a big swoop.
I think anything to excess gets boring, right? So 35 under, it's exciting. They're making birdies on every hole, theoretically. But at 9 birdies, it's just...
I mean, Colin Morikawa finished at 31 under. Didn't even win. What'd you finish, 31 under? It must have been great. No, I finished second.
Yeah.
Sung JM, Johnny Vegas making a bit of a comeback. So are easy courses bad for the PGA Tour?
No, but we can't have a steady diet of them.
Okay. You still have the majors. You still have TPC Sawgrass that can be set up very hard, although they've kind of softened that over the years. I joked to one of the guys, I'm like, the problem is these guys are too good. Yep. You get the modern equipment in their hands that Buddy and Worldwide Golf sells here at Golfdom. Come down and get some. Ding, ding, ding. In these guys' hands, it's like cheating. Well, it's boring.
The fine line also of letting them play the golf course kind of the way it was designed and the way agronomically it was set up to be, and then all of a sudden having greens that are cement and them crying.
Yeah.
Because, the greens are too hard. It wasn't set up. It wasn't designed for this, and the rough is too hard. I mean, that's what happens. And so it's that very fine line.
And it's player run, right? I mean, that's the PGA Tour.
Right.
But how much of it did you watch? I mean, this is playoff weekend.
Virtually none.
We got bowl games and all this stuff. Like, we just need them on a golf course to start the season.
I know.
Really.
You're right. Even if it was harder, Buddy, I still would not have watched.
Correct.
Yeah.
So if it was played on, Augusta, we'd all watch it.
Yeah,
but if it was played on.
But Hawaii was good, too, because of the time zone. So we could theoretically watch it at night, even though all the playoff games are at night now, too. But yeah.
Who's been to Hawaii?
Not me.
Not you. What do you think of it? Where'd you go in Hawaii, Ronas?
Kauai.
Yeah, nice.
Played a course there. It was very nice.
Princeville?
Princeville
so.
or Kauai Lagoons? I played Princeville.
Yep.
Yeah,
Princeville is the way I think I
Princeville,
played.
yep.
It was very nice. I hit a really long drive on one of the holes, so I took a picture, and I actually found it on my phone somewhere recently.
Nice.
But, Hawaii, for me, it's a long trip.
Yeah.
I mean, so if you're asking me about Hawaii, you're asking me what did I think about Hawaii. I think that the greater 50 here has just as much to offer as Hawaii does.
What do you mean for you it's a long trip? It's the same thing for us.
Well, no. I mean, if you're in California.
Oh, okay. I was like, what is he talking about? We're all far away from Hawaii.
It's a national audience, Abe.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you could have said for us then.
I don't speak for you.
So unfair.
Oh, dear.
Hole number 3, 1 ball out. First of all, have you heard the phrase, it's a grandpa's pajamas?
Never heard that.
Not heard that.
No.
That means it's 2 balls out.
Hilarious.
A caddy once said it's a grandpa's pajamas. I go, how? He goes, yeah, 2 balls out.
That's hilarious.
1 ball out. What is 1 ball out? Our friend and guest on the show one time, Lou Stagner, Golf Stat Pro on Twitter, says, let's vote. When somebody says the putt is a ball outside the right edge, what does that mean to you? And he posted 3 options. The first option, as you can see, is the ball just kissing the edge of the cup. The second option would be the center of the ball being exactly 1.68 inches, the diameter of the golf ball, outside the edge of the hole. And then the option 3, which is insane to me, is the entire ball being more than 1.68 inches away from the edge of the cup. 1, 2, and 3. First of all, get on record. I say option 1 is the correct meaning of 1 ball out. You say, Ghoul?
I say 2.
You say 2. Ronas, you say?
1.
And Buddy, you say?
I say everything is wrong except 1.
That's right. Everything is insane except 1.
That's what I think.
1 is right edge. That's not ball out. That's right edge.
I'm aiming center of the ball at the right edge. if you say
right edge, I'm trying to split the ball in half on the right edge.
So then
I get it. I get it. Now we're talking it's a half ball out.
All right.
Then two should be correct.
No, it would be actually between the two.
Center of ball is one ball out.
Right. So it would be half
we
the ball.
Spend the rest of the show on
yeah.
But I think of that as half the ball hitting the right, and then one ball over.
Do you want to see what the answers were to his poll?
Sure.
Option 1 won 55%. But then option 3, the insane one, was 20%.
Yeah, well,
and 2 was 16.8, and then you just had a 6.8 for.
People.
Well, that's exactly kind of what I thought about it. But so here's what's interesting. This got going on social media, and it prompted none other than
Pro Jock
Kip Henley to weigh in on it. And I don't know where I put that video. Oh, there it is, right there. Here's Kip Henley, who is a pro tour caddy, weighing in on the whole debate.
All right, and I'm going to clear up all this terrible reading you guys are doing out there, verbiage, I should say. That is a dead straight putt. This is barely moving left, so it would be right center. So this is a red hair, right center. That's a black hair, right center. Black hair is a little thicker.
By the way, I'd never heard that before. First of all, I've never attempted to have that much precision to try to split hairs on the read of a putt. I just want to hit it solid.
This is inside right, where the whole ball fits inside the hole.
Yeah.
So you got right center, inside right, and then this is Bruce.
Huh?
Bruce Jenner. It's not this and it ain't that. So that's the one extra read right there you can put on the guy. It's a little bit more than right center of Bruce. This is split right lip.
Got it.
This is one ball out.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Where the whole ball sits outside the hole.
Yeah.
This, clearly, is two balls out.
Grandpa's pajamas.
One ball, two ball. Quit saying this is one ball out. What's wrong with you guys? This is a cup out. So if I tell my player to aim at a cup out, I'd want him to aim it split right on the cup out there.
See, now that's what I didn't know. I thought two cups right is try to hit it in the middle of the second cup.
Yeah.
So that's new to me. I did not know you're trying to split the right lip on two cups out.
And you know what's so weird is I agree with you on that as well. I've never had this discussion. Like we've never said, hey, let's define what we mean by right, one ball out. Like it's just been assumed we all understood what it was.
But I'll say this, if you, taking this in mind, if you said 2 inches outside right, you'd take 2 inches from the edge of the hole, and you would aim the middle of the ball.
Correct.
At that 2 inch mark, just like you'd aim the middle of the ball at the center of the hole.
Yep.
So when you talk about one ball, right?
Yeah, so you're actually aiming, even though
it's 1.68 inches. Would you aim at one?
Yeah, that's right.
The
physical ball though, you're hitting to the center point of what point?
Yeah.
In the end, though, I still think none of this matters, right? Because
not to us amateurs,
right? That's exactly what I'm saying.
We're just trying to hit it in the middle of the putter face.
I don't tell myself, hit it 2 balls to the right. I say it's going to break right, couple inches or whatever to myself. Now, when you have a caddy, and especially at the tour level, you need to make sure it doesn't matter what you do as long as you both know the same thing.
Yeah, but
it's all pace dependent.
Who measures anything with circles?
Right.
Yeah.
2 balls, 1 ball, 1 cup. Yeah. Circles? We don't measure things with circles.
Well, the ball's a circle and the cup's a circle. So why wouldn't you?
Why would you?
Because they're
you
circles.
Don't need
but it's
to
just
use
hard
those.
to
measure circles with circles.
They're not the only things on the earth. You can go 2 inches outside right, and there's a straight line that goes from the center of your golf ball to that point, not a circle.
So John would say aim 1.68 inches out to the right.
Inch and a half is what I would say.
Hey, we should invent glasses that could show you 1.68 right through the glasses. You know?
I'm sure
like
Terminator has them.
That's right, exactly.
That'll be $100. You're welcome.
Yeah. Oh, that's good stuff right there. It was funny how that whole argument took off because I honestly didn't even think it was a thing. And it pinged around social media for at least several days. Quick break here, and thank you for listening to the Capital Golf Gang. This year, when it comes to new sticks, accessories, apparel, training aids, gadgets, and everything else in between, shop Golfdom. Look, anyone can sell you a new driver, but is it the right one for you? Lots of opinions on Reddit threads about golf equipment, and hey, maybe some of them will fit your game. Not me. I trust the pros at Golfdom, who are hands-on with the latest in equipment and more every single day. Guys like Matty Ballspeed and John the Mad Scientist in their fitting studios. Dan the Man Hartman, Monty the Shoe and Shirt King over in apparel. They are the reason Golfdom is a cut above. Swear to God, last summer I was about to make a big shoe mistake when Monty rolled up and said, "Hey, did you know Echo makes these new line of shoes?" And I said, spoiler, I do not. And he was right. I love them. Come experience it yourself this winter as you dream of the long, warm season to come at Golfdom in Tyson's Corner, Rockville, and Annapolis, and on the web at golfdomgolf.com. Now, back to the fellas. Hole number 4. Austin Powers, eat your heart out. There he is with Vern Troyer, a.k.a. Mini-Me. Guess what, boys? Titleist. My brand has come out with a mini driver. The GT280 makes its tour debut at Kapalua, marking the start of the tour validation process. I want to hear more about that, buddy, for the newest addition to the GT Metals family. Sharp-looking mini driver there. I expected nothing less from the number one brand in golf.
Yeah, it's kind of a cool little thing, and you know that they're not the first to do it, but it feels a little weird with them coming out with this right now, and it's not going to be available till April.
To the public.
To the public.
What is the tour validation process?
So it used to be at the Kemper Open here, or whatever they were calling it at the time, Booz Allen. They'd come out with their new fall product. The tour players would start using it then because it was before the U.S. Open. Now they're using it at the U.S. Open, which to me is crazy. So they get their new driver, right. They get fit at the U.S. Open, and they choose to use it or not. But that's when they start to use it. And then it becomes out to the public in October-ish. So they have like that 3-month window where they use it on tour. So they're doing the same time frame, but
okay, but hold on. It is USGA legal right now.
No, USGA approved.
USGA approved.
Yes.
So when they say tour validation, they want the tour pros to go, either this is good or it's junk.
Yes.
Reconfigure it.
Correct. Well, yeah. By then they're pretty much committed to doing it, but they're
what are they waiting to do then? If they're already pot committed.
They're fitting the guy. They're getting him dialed in. They're going, okay, put it in your bag, or they choose to put it in their bag.
But why do I have to wait?
Well, they rely so heavily on endorsement. They want your favorite player who's their sponsor said, "I'm using it." And it works.
Okay.
And it works.
And you're making my argument, Zabe. I want that in the store now to sell.
Does anyone use a mini driver on tour that we know of?
Those guys put them in the bag once in a while.
Yeah, correct. I would say I would like to know, and maybe you guys know, what's the advantage of mini driver? I actually don't know.
It's smaller. It's a little bit smaller. That's the advantage, Scotty.
I haven't read on it, and Buddy, check me if I'm wrong. I would assume center of gravity is a difference, so the spin rate will be lowered somewhat with it. It's a shorter length shaft, which will both have a little bit more control, but also, I would think, launch the ball lower.
And lower swing speed, too, I would think, because it's
there is
shorter,
some lower swing speed.
It is, in theory, more accurate.
Yeah.
And I cannot emphasize for us amateurs theory.
Yes.
And I don't. The tour players, if they're carrying it, they're not replacing their driver with this. They're replacing a fairway wood.
Yeah.
Whereas some consumers may use it as a driver, but it's going to be more accurate.
I don't see it in the tour player's bag unless
not typically.
Unless it's, I don't know. They don't even make narrow courses anymore.
Right, but if the Sony was narrow and you've got a bunch of 430-yard par fours, they might use this driver. Of course, it's not.
I think it could be a great club to have, maybe not in your bag all the time, but in your trunk all the time. So you're going to play a course that is a shorter course for what you normally play, 6,200 yards.
Yep.
And you're like, you know what? This would be a perfect course for my mini, for mini-me. Come on, buddy. Let's go play golf.
That's actually the idea. And I think some tour players, they would take out their extra wedge and put this in or whatever.
I played down in Florida just after Christmas, and one of the guys we played with, and he was probably a 13 or 14 handicap. He had a mini TaylorMade driver, and he pulled it out 3 times, and it was for a reason, and it was a narrower hole. Now, he hadn't gotten used to it, so he really hadn't, because I asked him, like, do you feel like this is that much more accurate?
Where did it go? Was he 0 for 3?
He's third. No.
Hit the fairway 3 times?
No, he was. I think he hit the fairway twice and didn't. But nothing
egregious.
Tragically wrong.
Okay.
But he hadn't tested enough. But he certainly had a mindset of this a little more narrow hole, and I don't need the distance. Maybe I'll go and try this mini driver and see what it's all about.
Yeah, I think that works.
Now the current limit on drivers is 460 cc's.
Mm-hmm.
So the 280 means it's a 280 cc mini driver. Somebody asked me a non-golfer said, well, when did the driver heads start getting really big? And I said, well, there's a club called the Killer Whale.
Yeah.
Once upon a time.
Yep.
Do you guys, for a buck, remember what the cc's were on the Killer Whale? Buddy, you go last because you're in the industry. Ronas, take a guess. How many cc's on the Wilson Killer Whale?
I believe it was either 320. I think it was 320.
Okay. Gould, your answer?
It seemed big at the time, and now I'm
seemed huge at the time.
So now I'm thinking I'm going to say 360.
All right, buddy.
And you know the answer?
I do.
Okay. I bet it's not over 300. I bet it's
280.
I bet it's 280 or less.
Yeah.
What's your number?
260.
260. I wish I had prices right music because, buddy, you are the winner. Take a look at what's on this eBay Wilson Killer Whale driver 9 degree.
Yeah.
275.
Yep.
Remember how big that looked?
$25.
Oh, it looked like a joke.
And it had a red shaft.
It looked like
and
a
it
joke.
Was white.
Yes, it was like, what are you, cheating using a club that big?
Hey, take a look at a TaylorMade tour spoon right now.
Oh.
It looks like you can't even hit. It looks smaller than a ball.
It's unbelievable.
We used to play with that.
Yeah.
It's smaller than today's mini drivers, which is kind of funny.
Yep.
Nice.
Or Cineus Orca, the Killer Whale. I don't know if it was
$25. Let's get it.
It's lefty though.
Oh.
Which means you'll hit it about as much as you would otherwise as a lefty. Hole number 5. Golf is life. You're looking at here comedian Cat Williams, who has had quite the interesting life. He emancipated himself from his parents at age 13, was homeless, living in a park, found a way to hustle and make some money, worked his way into comedy and acting. He's been in a number of movies. He is a very disruptive comic. He believes in a lot of conspiracy theories. He is quite smart, speaks multiple languages, also has a legal troubles section on Wikipedia that was too long for me to read in full, but it involved quite a lot of colorful things. But this guy, Cat Williams, has gotten the golf bug, and it's a beautiful thing because he had what I think is the best description of why he loves golf. I want you guys to hear. Take a listen. Have you heard this yet?
I have
not.
No.
Golf is this thing where 18 times they set you up with a challenge and they put obstacles and hazards in the way. And you have to try to navigate your way safely and try to do as much as you can. But you learn that if you do more than you can't do that. And there will be things that happen. And so all of the things that I like about life in general are on the golf course. I'm saying I drink out here, I smoke out here, I whistle out here, I look at nature, I all the things that really mean something to me. Golf requires you to experience all those beautiful things, but then every shot requires you to block all of that out and just focus on the task at hand. And you don't have the opportunity of doing it again. You're going to do it once, and you're going to live with how that works out. And if you can get that on the golf course, you can translate that everywhere. The fact that you can have 3 magnificent shots in a row that has no bearing on your ability to 3-putt. like you can't afford to be high or low. You have to stay focused, and that translates all the time.
How about that? Huh?
That's pretty good.
Fantastic.
Pretty deep.
That is some good stuff. When he said you're going to get a chance to do it once, and you're going to have to live with however it works out. Yep. That one gave me chicken skin. I said, that is brilliant right there.
Yep.
Rowan,
Yeah.
I don't even know who
pretty
that
deep.
is, but that's
I
cool.
mean, I don't know who it is either, but obviously from the background that he came from to the one thing that I see is that he looks like every other golfer right there.
Yeah.
He's got the Peter Millar shirt on and whatever. So he put himself
Nike, but yeah.
Whatever. He put himself into the golf society or the golf culture. He didn't try to change the golf culture because he's a superstar or whatever he is. He put himself in the golf culture because he knows the golf culture is a microcosm of life.
Yeah.
Right?
That's what's great. That's what I
think
love.
that's
is that
what we've always said in this show.
Yep.
This is the prime example. When anyone wants to say that golf is elitist or too white, I'll show them I'll say, well, Cat Williams would disagree with you.
Yeah.
This guy was on the streets hustling at 13 because he emancipated himself from his family. You know,
and
like
that's probably
he
a
loves
beautiful
golf.
private club. And shame on any of the private clubs that still think that they're too good for, African Americans or Jewish or whatever it is. I mean, it's all about the game, right?
Yeah.
And to see someone like this who's passionate about the game and the culture of the game, not just to play golf.
Yeah.
He loves the culture.
Well, he summarized it beautifully. It's like you're out in nature, you got to focus, but then again, you can enjoy everything, and you be with friends, and you drink, and you smoke if you want.
And that insight right there from someone like that is way more useful than a tour player.
Yeah.
Who's probably grown up on a country club and nothing against that either. But
I mean, a tour player complains about his courtesy car not
I'm not saying
nice
complain,
enough,
but this is
his hotel
really,
room being too cold or something.
This is someone who's seen some stuff.
Yes, he's right. He's living in a
Serious
park
stuff.
at 14 years old.
Yeah.
Hole number 6, RIP to the PIP. I looked up Gravy Train for images, and I found this on there. It's a little toy train with some dollar bills stuck into it. I started a deep dive into where did the phrase Gravy Train come from. Didn't really get a good answer on that, but we all know Gravy Train to be basically something that is easy money for not a lot of work. Well, that is certainly the player incentive program, which comes to an end now with this new phase of the PGA Tour. Daniel Rappaport tweeted, Tiger Woods made a combined $45 million over 4 years from the PGA's Player Impact Program, which will be shut down after this year. He played a combined 10 PGA Tour events over that period. That's $4.5 million per start from the PIP. That's like winning 2 majors for every start without having to even make the cut.
Yeah.
So that is pretty mind-blowing. Now, I found this story from Sean Zach of golf.com. Goodbye, good riddance to the RIP, and RIP to the PIP, sort of. And he goes in to explain how, and I didn't know this. This thing was supposed to be secret, John Gould. Did you know that?
I did not know it was supposed to be secret.
Yes.
We found out about it pretty quickly.
Yeah.
He says the PIP was never supposed to be public. Each year's results were never supposed to be shared, tweeted, nor written about. But like anything sent to players in an official memo or email, it ultimately got leaked. So the PIP got out, and it became something a bit bigger than it ever needed to be. The fact the PGA Tour went so far as to look at his 200-plus person membership and tell them, hey, you guys are great, stick around, we're going to make sure you get some more money, became an odd legal asset because in the brief lawsuit that was aborted between the Tour and LIV, the Tour said, hey, you've already stolen half of our most impactful players. How can you claim that you're not doing well? So that was kind of interesting. It, of course, continued to be a chess piece to try to slush fund pay the best players or the most famous players under the table for nothing but just being wonderful in themselves. And that kept, I guess, the LIV Tour at bay to a certain extent. Also, what I found amazing was Rory McIlroy twice ranked first in what they called meltwater mentions. What? A meltwater mention? It's a measurement of the number of unique articles, essentially news coverage, that mention a player's name. Favorites of the Masters? Ding. Heartbreaking contention? Ding. Winning tournaments that matter? Ding. Founding a simulator golf league? Ding. Opining on the future of the game? Ding. All these things constituted meltwater mentions that went into the formula for the player incentive program. Or is that what it was called? The
Impact program.
Player Impact Program, exactly. To be written about even more than Tiger Woods is impressive, Sean Zach writes, and McIlroy accomplished it twice. The 2 times he didn't rank first, he finished second to Woods. Of course, Woods was not playing for much of that 10-year period. I look at the PIP, and I hate it. I think it's where the tour sold a huge chunk of its soul to pay guys for nothing other than their smile. It went against everything. I grew up thinking about the PGA Tour. You eat what you kill, and that's that. It's pro golf. You play for money, not your own money, but you play for a lot of money of somebody else. You play good, you get money. Otherwise, you get nothing, trunk slam, and we'll see you in Tulsa.
I don't have a whole lot to add. The PIP is, you're right. You're absolutely right. I do say that one of the reasons that you had to come up with something like the PIP is because these guys don't know their own place. They think they're the NFL. They think they're this. They should know that the more times they are on social media and the more times they're out there and the more times this and that will grow the game entertainment-wise, which will bring them more money. They just don't get that.
John Gould, if you were to carve the tombstone of the PIP, what does it read underneath, "Here lieth the Player Impact Program"? What's that phrase underneath?
The reaction to live.
Even though at the time, 10 years ago, there was just vague rumblings of a Saudi golf league. 10 years ago.
Yeah, I think it was definitely related to live, but it was, especially at the end where the money got so big, it was 100%. So I'm not going to leave for $10 million from live. I'm going to get 4.5 from the
on
PGA
that
Tour.
tombstone. Maybe the tombstone says greed eventually dies.
I don't know if it dies.
Greed won,
Greed
and then
wins.
just got shifted. Yeah.
I would say, how about this?
It's dead.
Buddy, how about this? Here lieth the PIP. We really owed Tiger more money than he made.
Partly that.
Like this is hey, we got to fluff him up. He can't play anymore, but Christ, look at what we're playing for because of him.
Was it 10 years? I thought it was 10 events in 4 years of a PIP. That's what I thought I saw.
No, I saw.
No, it's been longer than 4 years.
The PIP?
Yeah.
No, the PIP's been about, I think, 4 years.
Yeah.
I think the Tiger played 10 events.
10 events in 4
Oh, my bad.
10
okay.
events.
So
So $4.5 million.
You're right. You're right. I got that wrong. By the way, you know who won the first PIP? Or no, he didn't win it, but
Tiger.
Bubba Watson got $3 million the first year the PIP was in play.
And then left right
Was
after.
it Nicholson up there too?
Yeah, Mickelson.
He got some money as well.
He blurted about it.
Yeah.
I think the tombstone should say it was supposed to be secret.
Yeah, right.
Here lieth the PIP. No, we should have never put it in writing.
Exactly.
Eamon Lynch of Golf Week, I believe, was the guy credited with blowing this up because he got the leak. He wrote about it, and then it was off to the races.
And he got the leak from not him, but a Joel Dahman of the world, right?
Yeah.
He got
Of course.
a journeyman.
You're giving it 200 tour pros.
Yeah.
It's going to get out.
They're going to cut us
and
to
180
120.
of them who didn't get any of it.
Yes,
Right.
exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
All right, hole number 7. Smoked in the soup coolers. An expression when guys get hit in the lips, the soup coolers. Whew. Ever seen a simulation of what it's like for a golf ball to hit a human skull at full speed?
No.
Oh, no.
Never seen this.
If I show you this,
I don't think I want to see it.
well, you're gonna.
Okay.
You're going to see it, and you're not going to be able to unsee it. I've got the still frame right before impact of the yellow Pinnacle range ball right about to hit this real-life gel and bones skull sort of ballistic dummy.
So this has the simulation of skin and stuff?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, my God.
Now they dubbed
Split
in
the
the
jaw in the
sounds,
middle.
of course. Look at the skin tearing open. Blood would be gushing from your
split
face.
The chin right open. See how wide
whole
it is?
jawbone.
It comes
Yeah.
back.
Whole jawbone.
Yeah.
Broke right at the chin. Right
Tell
in the center of the
tell
chin.
me that is not a minimum 10-loop rewatch just to go, oh, my God, that would really be bad. Obviously, don't let this happen on the golf course, but it should be a reminder to people
Did
that
they say, is it right off of the ball leaving the club, or is it 100 yards away? When you're
I
in
did
the
not
audience?
see the details on the exit velo of the golf ball. I'm assuming it's driver speed within the first 10 or so yards.
Gotcha.
But, yeah.
Note to self, don't stand in front of anybody.
This happened to a long time ago. We had a couple employees playing. One of them was sitting down in a cart, and it was raining or something. They were doing the guys were doing something stupid, but they ran up and 3 of them were like hitting the ball at once and like running up to it like Happy Gilmore, doing something stupid, and someone shanked it off and hit the guy in the side of the mouth.
What happened?
It was his
broken jaw.
His mouth was wired shut for months. I think they had to. I don't even remember. It was just
being in the golf business, you see this stuff. Unfortunately, one of our cousins has an eye, a glass eye. But I saw it when I was in Massachusetts, and the lady was just sitting on the not the picket fence, but the fence, and her son hit a ball kind of off the toe of the driver and hit her in the eye. And her eye, it was unrecognizable. It could just basically exploded right there. And so you see this stuff, and it's just. And I've been hitting the shin with a ball off the tip of the driver, and it's just an idiot on my part to be anywhere where the ball's not going to go backwards.
Right.
Anywhere, sideways or in front.
I've seen it go a lot.
I mean, you got to hit something to go backwards.
Just saying.
But it's scary.
Keep your head on a swivel for sure.
Yeah.
Hole number 8, pump fake it till you make it. Steph Curry, excellent golfer himself for a guy that doesn't do that for a living. Great at the pump fake to get open for 3. Here's a nice illustration of it right here. The pump fake, though, that I'm going to show you is of one Victor Hovland, who is now apparently pump faking certain drives.
Mm-hmm.
What do you see with this going on?
It's a long drive technique.
Is it?
Yeah.
to get yourself further
More
back.
power.
Why
well,
not?
he drove this green at Kapalua using the pump fake thing.
But was it a mini driver?
Well, you got to pump that 3 times.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, and then go. So would you recommend this to any of your students?
No.
No. Well, okay.
I pump fake 3 or 4 times around. It's just because I have the yips.
Yeah.
So wait.
I mean, it definitely takes some athletic skill to pull it off, right?
What does it supposedly do, Ronas?
I think it's a recoil effect of some sort. I don't know. I hit it 210.
Does it widen the arc maybe by doing that to be able to kind of loosen up?
When you sent this, when you put that on the list, I was like, what is this? So I looked it up, and they had something from 2019 when he was a rookie doing this, some drill.
Huh.
So he must have gone back and said, you know what, that drill? It was just as a drill. It wasn't used on the golf course. At least I spent 2 minutes
was his teacher
looking.
Genghis for a while?
Yeah.
Was he with Genghis?
George
Wolf
Genghis.
Was.
Yeah, Wolf was.
Wolf was. I didn't know because they're both Oklahoma State guys. I don't know.
I think Hovland fired his instructor
Well, yeah,
this
he's
winter.
had like 6 instructors in the last
he's gone through
3
it.
months.
And he went to that?
Well, no, I don't know if he went to that.
That's what I'm saying. I think he used to do this, and maybe it was just like reactionary.
But he's not doing it every time.
Why
not?
Only when there's a crosswind right to left.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
And a drivable par 4 with a mini driver.
I can't wait till he tops it.
You're such a hater. His instructor that taught him the steep method chipping with the big divots, he gone.
Well, yeah. There's a reason, Zave. And let me tell you, he's not doing beginner clinics at the range either. Because he got just holes, just killing moles there.
I came to you late last season. I said, I think this is it, man.
Yeah.
The steep method is
and
it. I'm going to try
just smile.
You're just
shake
like,
my
sure.
head.
You'll see how it
Go
is.
ahead. Give it a shot.
All right, just hear me out. What if you did the pump fake with the step through?
Right.
So you're doing pump, and then the Gary Player step through.
And steep.
And steep on it as well.
I think it will work.
All right, hole number 9. Stymie, is that you?
I love Stymie.
This is Stymie from The Little Rascals, one of the iconic characters from back in the day, along with Alfalfa, Spanky, all the gang.
Lila.
But have you ever seen the Stymie practiced as it once existed? The Stymie rule was a rule that was in play that allowed a player to block their opponent's ball around the putting green, forcing the player to putt around it or over it in match play. The rule was eliminated in 1952, which was a long time ago, but it still persisted for longer than I would have thought as an insane kind of a rule. The rule was modified in 1938 to allow a player to lift an interfering ball that was within 6 inches of the hole, regardless of how close it was to the other ball. Well, that seems fair. Scorecards often included a Stymie gauge to measure the distance between the balls to determine if a Stymie was present. I had no idea that was a thing.
Wow.
Yep. And I would say, too, the reason why, at least the way I know it, the reason why the match play rule is still if you hit your opponent's ball in match play, there's no penalty, whereas in stroke play you putt for ball from the green.
It's because of the stymie?
It's because of the stymie rule.
Wow. Well, the PGA of America, your organization, eliminated the rule in the 1944 PGA Championship.
Yep, the PGA Championship used to be match play.
Now, I've never seen this before.
The scorecard was probably derived of a 6-inch scorecard on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
So
because of that.
I have seen a lot of little pieces of golf video, film, artifactia. I had never seen this before. This is truly new to me. Stymie practice by what looks like a dapper club pro on a putting green that might be running at 6 on the stimp, if that. Look at this drill. He's got 6 balls lined up, 4 inches apart. Chip, chip, chip. Perfect chip, even though he missed
double stymie now.
Yeah, right. But he still gets it around it.
Oh, God.
Look at how deft that is. John Ronis, your face is amazing.
Well, I'm just thinking
I'm blowing your mind, aren't I?
We're looking for revenue streams right now. And if I could do a clinic inside on stymie chipping, I think it'd be a big hit.
Yep. This is a little stub action.
It doesn't even look like he's got more than a pitching wedge either.
Imagine the members taking the divots out of the green.
Correct.
That's all I was thinking.
That's the other good thing about it being running as 6. They have some long blades on the grass.
It's unbelievable.
Imagine being 2 up or 1 up in your match on 18, and your opponent is probably going to make a 7. But he realizes his only hope is to stymie you because you're a terrible chipper, and he lags it up right in front of your ball. You then blade 1, chunk 1, take an 8, and lose.
Well,
that would result in some serious fist fights on the golf course.
It's fantastic.
Isn't that good, though? I had never seen a stymie before.
I like it. We can sell one more club.
Yeah, there you go, stymie. Just call it stymie.
I bet you that chipper, the 2-sided chipper, would work good for that.
I mean, when we were growing up and someone put the ball right in front of your ball, you just stepped on your own ball and hit it with your putter, and it would hop.
Right.
So.
All right. We got a little time here just to set the tone for the year. For those that are like, I'd like to see some of these videos you played on the show instead of just the clips, we are going to stand up a YouTube channel that have the full episodes available for you to watch. We appreciate everybody who downloads and listens to the Capital Golf Gang, and we're going to go every week during the season. My wife was a bit incredulous that there was anything to talk about in golf in the middle of a winter snowstorm, and I said, honey, trust me, we're golfers. We'll find something, and we did find 9 things today to talk about. More to come as well. Ronis, what are you doing during the winter out there at River Creek?
Well, now that it's snowing, we're just kind of trying to get
winter
ready
maintenance,
for the season. Yep.
Fixing the ball washer.
Yeah, painting things, tees. We paint all the tees
toilets.
each year. That's one thing we do is paint every tee every single year. And
nice.
I'm in the golf tees. We do that. And, it's just things that we got to get done that you don't recognize during the course of the season.
Okay. Goal?
Yeah, big planning season for us. So budget, business plan. One big parts of my job is acquiring sponsors for guys like Ronis to play for, or for money for them to play for. And a big part of that is our PGA Merchandise Show, which happens in the next couple of weeks down in Orlando every year. It's not open to the public, but it would be cool if they could go because it's literally 1 million square feet of golf exhibitors. Now, some of them are big, like the golf manufacturers, and I won't name them because most of them are there. But the small ones, the trophy makers, the widget makers, all that stuff. I want to get you down there, Xavier.
I would like to go down there.
I'd love to do a show from down there. There's 1 million shows going on down there, radio shows and podcasts. It's a cool vibe.
It's golf mecca. I mean, for me, obviously, I'm trying to sell sponsorships to companies, but really, it's like a family reunion.
If we can get together, the 3 of us are going. Yeah. If we could get together, we could do a quick 3-minute interview.
Do you want me to fly down? All 3 of you guys are going, buddy.
Correct.
Yep. Cool.
Almost everyone.
I'm not going on the 23rd, though.
Yeah.
Why not?
I have other things to do.
The 23rd. I get it. Number 23. Yes.
Well, no, it's the 23rd. It's just the day I'm
playing.
Just
happens to be.
Just happens
to be similar, but it's the 23rd. I'm not going to be at the show.
Well, 22nd you'll be there. You said, right?
22nd in the afternoon and the 24th in the morning. Yeah. Well, it's only half day.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'd love to go see it. I know that the show sort of lagged a while back, where it cease for a couple of years?
No, it made it through every year.
Well, no, the first. No, yeah, you're right. It did
because we were COVID hit right after we left the show. We were talking about this thing going on, right? So I've been going since '94, and it grew, and then it retracted back down, and then it's gotten it's
almost
back to normal.
If we do it though, like if Zabe comes down, I would like to get him involved in all the parties and all the other stuff, because you have the most parties.
Buddy does.
And then I get invited to my Callaway stuff, and it's fun.
Yeah,
it's fun.
But it's not like it used. You used to like hop from party to party to party. There was years.
I don't know what you guys
are
talking about. It's work for me.
Yeah.
Well, but there were years where we had the technology companies coming in. I'm going back
the
15, 20 years, and they were throwing these parties with seafood buffets and some really good stuff. But
you rent out the theme parks.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
Well, I picked a bad year to quit drinking. Maybe I'll have to start that in 2026 if you're going to invite me to some parties. Well, that could be cool, buddy. What do you got planned for this new year?
Yeah, it's just weird being in the golf business, and it feels like this is the busiest time of the year, and you're sitting there going, if it's this busy now, how are we going to survive when you get in season? And everything's kind of in motion. So it's a lot of planning. PGA show, a couple weeks. I'll go out to the Phoenix Open. We're doing a thing with Cool Clubs out there, little party activity with a brand that we're part owner of called For All, which is a women's, really more women's, but they're getting into some men's clothing. And other than that, just kind of getting ready for the year.
I will say, because Buddy just doesn't promote himself as well as he could. The club companies this year are good stuff. I mean, really taking a step forward. So if you haven't had a set of clubs, like maybe last year, like if even you're 2 years old, you got.
This is every year they make better clubs.
No, but this is a good year. Like every manufacturer across the board really came out with some cool stuff, and so I encourage you to come into any Worldwide Golf facility.
I encourage that as well.
But definitely get in here and just do a fitting and just see what your clubs do in comparison to some of this new stuff, because literally every manufacturer has something that's very, very cool, especially Callaway.
Yeah, but I would say
ding, ding, ding.
Ding, ding, ding. There's definitely a lot of very good product coming out. They're doing a better job of cascading down last year's product and year before even, and maybe even 3 years, because price points are hitting some lower price points as well. And then, we've got Cool Clubs. They do these robot reviews, or we're doing these robot reviews that are pretty cool. I sent you guys a link.
I watched it. It's awesome. I don't know what the link is for that, but just go Cool Clubs on YouTube.
Cool Clubs on YouTube, and you'll see. And all the new products going to be, we've got a robot that tests it out, shows you all the numbers. You can get as geeky on it as you want, but there's some really cool stuff coming out.
Nice. Why are you going to the Phoenix Open? Zach Johnson's not playing.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Why would you even go?
I don't even know.
They're gonna make you not pass out and puke on yourself this year, or so they say.
Yeah,
we'll see if it's routed now. Let's hope it gets good weather. That's the bottom line,
I'm gonna go. I think I'll go Thursday or Friday, but I'm not going to be there over the weekend. I'll get out of there.
As always, if you got a question for the Capital Golf Gang or just want to give us feedback, you can email me directly, zabe@yahoo.com, and I'll make sure to get it in front of the boys. And as I mentioned, they're going to get a YouTube channel stood up so you can search for it once I get this episode up, and we'll just start adding content into the mix. But we appreciate you guys for listening. For Buddy and for Mr. Gould and for you, Johnny Ronas, thank you, boys, for coming here. Get them ice scrapers out. We're back to the cold outside, and we'll see you next week on the Capital Golf Gang, presented by Golfdom and Worldwide Golf.
This has been the Capital Golf Gang. If you'd like the gang to visit your home course, send your inquiries to zabe@yahoo.com. That's CZABE@yahoo.com. And for free swag, we're all in extra large. So yeah, thanks for the shirts.
At Golfdom, the 2025 golf season is here. Yes, that's right. Maybe not outside your frozen window with snow and ice, but in your hearts and in your minds. It's here and alive with you thinking about that upcoming winter trip. It's here as you say, man, I think I need a new travel bag. Let me give a recommendation, the Sun Mountain Club Glider Meridian. Best damn travel bag I've ever owned. It glides with you from terminal to curb and more. Go into Golfdom and get the latest in gear for your golf season. How about some high-tech thermals to get you through a few rounds on a 45-degree day in the DMV? Or maybe the golf season means getting ready to stock up on ammunition for the upcoming season. Go into Golfdom, shop for the right golf ball for your game, and then load up enough to make it at least through 4th of July. So just like the season of the Capital Golf Gang is here, so too is golf season at Golfdom. Get into any location in the DMV, Tysons, Rockville, and Annapolis, or shop online at golfdomgolf.com. Or wherever you go, look for the Worldwide Golf logo and